Happy Wednesday, guys. Welcome. I apologize for the delay. I am so sorry. We are starting 30 minutes late because it is all my fault. First world problems. My computer just crashed and you know, I had to think on my feet real quick. So I do apologize for those of you that were waiting and were anticipating episode 2. Again, it was technical difficulties. My apologies. But with that being said, with that being said, um, unfortunately, I am on my phone. But we got to make it happen. We got to make it happen. So I do want to say welcome. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you are here with me. Thank you for joining me today for episode 2 of Unfiltered Logic with KP, featuring a friend of the show, Santina. Brr, 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 brr. Santina, talk to the people. Introduce yourself.
I'm Santina. I don't know, what all do you want to know about me?
Man, there's you and I are homies, and I think there's a lot to unpack here. You know,
Mhm.
if for those of you that don't know, Santina has this kind of like this swag, like when she walks, she's got like this little swag about her, and
Mhm.
I was like, I gotta know more. I gotta know more. I gotta know what's going on. And so, as I started to delve into this podcast thing, I was like, I gotta have you on, and I gotta get to know you and get to know what makes Santina tick, what she likes about men or women or whatever for that matter. So with that being said, Santina, thank you so much for joining me tonight. I appreciate you. Um, First question of the day. In regards to the topic,
Yeah.
again, remember, this is unfiltered logic. So I need you to be unfiltered, but I need you to, of course, I guess the audience will decide if you have the logic or not, but I think you will. So,
Oh.
what do women think about men today, in your opinion?
So this is like such a loaded question, I feel like, because I mean, we're both on the internet, right? We see like there's so many different women have like so many thoughts on men. And I think nowadays, I think a lot of men want to be the women. They want the princess treatment, all that kind of stuff. Like, I think that men don't pursue women anymore and there's no yearning. I think we need to bring back yearning because I feel like we live in such a hookup culture nowadays. But I feel like men, like dating, the art of dating, I feel like is kind of lost because we're all online. We see so many attractive people. We think, oh, we can do better. Boom, boom, boom. And we just go through people like literally like takeout. I like to say, like, when you're on Tinder, you're basically ordering takeout, right? If you're hooking up with somebody. That makes
Wait,
sense.
wait, wait, wait. Hold on. Wait, I've
You never
never
heard
heard
this
it.
before?
I, I've never heard it put like that before. Okay,
It's
wait.
a
You gotta say that again. You gotta say that again.
So, I mean, I personally never been on a dating app, but I know friends who have. Like, my sister met her husband on Tinder. But I feel like people who use like Tinder and stuff for to like hook up or whatever, it's basically like you're going through DoorDash or Uber Eats or whatever, and you're ordering your meal for the night. That's
Okay.
what it feels like to use the dating app.
No, I agree. I wholeheartedly agree. I personally think, and I know that there are some love stories that come out of Tinder and Bumble and Hinge and things of that nature. But in my personal opinion, as a man, it's strictly for smashing. I mean, we can pussyfoot all around it all we want, and we can say, but it's for smashing. It's for
Hmm.
smashing. So I agree with you on that. But go ahead. I'm sorry for interrupting you.
No, you're good. I just feel like I don't know. I just feel like there's not like effort being put in anymore to like pursue women. And once you have a girl, doesn't mean you're gonna keep her forever, right? If you don't treat her how you should be treating her, I feel like men will pursue you, they get you, and then they stop pursuing you. But they don't realize
Okay.
other also might like your girl, and they're gonna start pursuing her if they see that you're lacking. And if she needs that or wants that, she's probably gonna dump you and go to him.
So when you say that men stop pursuing women, do you
Mm-hmm.
think that do you think that most men, not in all cases, but if we're going off of internet fodder, internet talk, do you think that most men feel as if they are being used for dinners, for this or for that, um, and or they feel like they don't feel appreciated by doing those necessary things, even though those things I think are necessary. Don't get me wrong. I personally think that men should court women that they're interested in, a
Mm-hmm.
1000%. When I say court, I do mean take out to dinner, so on and so forth. But at the end of the day, I'm a realist, and this is unfiltered logic. I'm a man at the end of the day. And, I'm going to be real with you. It's an investment, and I want to see a return on my investment.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I think for most men, I think there can only be so many dates until we're like, where's that return?
By
So
return, you
that's,
mean
I mean, it could be sex, it could be something sexual, it could be maybe the girl asking the guy out one of those dates. You know what I mean? Not the first or second date, but maybe that girl, she's like, hey, I want to take you out to dinner one night. What do you think about that? Because I personally think that regardless of the age or whatever, I think that it is super, super sexy when a woman takes initiative and shows me and reciprocates to me that she wants to be around me as much as I want to be around her. So she's asking me to hang out as well. She
mm-hmm.
says, she says, hey, let's go to dinner. She says, hey, let's do this. Hey, let's do that. Me personally, I think that's super, super sexy. When a woman does take that initiative and, you know, ask me to do things or ask me to, like, even if we're talking sex wise, if a woman is making the first move, to me, I think that's hot. It doesn't have to be every time, all time, but when she does do it, I think that is super, super sexy.
So would you want her to take the initiative, like asking you out on like a first date, or
No,
do
no,
you
no,
want
no, 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 no. First date is dude. First date
100%?
is dude. 1,000%.
Okay.
No, 1,000%. I no, 1,000%. I'm in agreement with you. The first date should be dude does everything.
Yeah. No, I agree. Especially if you're asking me out to dinner. Like if I want to go out with my friends, like if I ask you out to dinner, like I'm expecting to pay. You know what I mean? Like I'll ask my friend Gina and I go out to dinner all the time. So like we go on and off on paying. So I think if you're asking me out to dinner, like it's expected for you to pay, right?
But okay, so then in that case, like, what if you are messing with a female who is not the type, which I'm taking that you are, is not the type to ask a guy to go to dinner? So the dude's paying every single time, correct? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
See, that is where the man nowadays, based off of, again, if we're talking about internet and internet fodder and internet talk, that is where the man gets fed up and his attention starts to wane when he's continuously paying for things. He's gonna look elsewhere.
I get that to a certain point, but I think as a man, that's part of pursuing a woman to show that you can provide for her, right? Like we got our own selves, especially girls who like live on their own, pay their own bills, don't have a man paying for any of their stuff. And also just to be able to like go out with a beautiful woman, like you want like a nice eye candy right on your arm. So like you gotta pay your beauty tax. You want this girl.
Oh my God! Wait, are you podding right now? You got to be podding right now. I, oh my! Wait a
Expensive to
minute.
maintain yourself. I mean, we have here's the beauty standard also. Let's talk about this actually. To maintain a woman, okay? Not every woman does these things, but like it's obviously more attractive if you do these things. Have your nails done, have your toes done, have your eyebrows done, have your hair done, have your lips done, get Botox, get your boobs done, get a BBL, be perfect all the time, have a gym membership, working out. So there's so much money and effort put into looking this good. And you guys are visual creatures, right? So we obviously want to attract the best person, the best mate. So we have to spend all this money to look good for you. So therefore, when you ask us on a date, I'm expecting you to pay because I worked probably 10 times harder than you to show up. A lot of guys, I feel like, just take a shower and get dressed and show up to a date. And the girl is like waxing, getting laser, manicure, pedicure, everything for one date. That might not go good.
Man. Yo, I don't use this term very often, which a lot of sometimes my homies and I like we use it from back home. Man, you're ate up. you're,
Happy.
you know you know how you see people on drugs and they look ate up, like they just look like the drugs just ate themselves, their brains, because they just there's 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 no way, no, absolutely. What'd you call it, a baddie tax? Is that what you said, or some kind of what kind of tax did you call it?
Just the hot girl tax. I don't know.
A hot girl tax, Santino. Oh my God. Okay, if that is your thought process in that instance, let me
Mm-hmm.
ask you this question: how is that working out for you in this day and age of dating?
I mean, I'm not dating right now, so I'm fine. I don't
But
enjoy dating.
but if you if someone did, or I'm sure someone has in the meantime, I'm sure someone has approached you, or someone has, stepped into your DMs, or when you're out and about or whatever. I'm sure men have approached you and, wanted to get your number, your Instagram, or whatever, so on and so forth. What are you telling them? Are you telling them that you're not dating? Or are you getting the number and then laying the, saying, hey, here's my expectations, so on and so forth? Like, what are you doing when someone approaches you?
Well, when they approach me, I just tell them no. But like if I was actively dating or whatever, I would we would have a chat, I would get their number, we'd go on a date, we set up a date or whatever, and then like I would tell them like my ex used to pay for my nails, pay my rent, all this kind of stuff. And I didn't ask him to pay my rent, like he paid it for me. But he would pay for my nails and everything else, and I feel like he took care of me like in that sense. And I feel like as a man too, he wanted to provide for me in that area while we were together.
And how long, like, were you and this person together?
We were together for almost a year.
Okay. And if you don't mind me asking, like, what happened?
He was just not a very good person. He was like a narcissist. It was a very toxic relationship. So
Now,
it was on and off.
now, now, do you think that he was that way because he was paying for you for things?
No, because he wanted to.
Gotcha. Interesting. Interesting. So yeah, I don't agree. I don't agree with any of that. I don't
I,
agree with any of that. I don't agree with any of that. And like I said, I'm not. Yo, I'm not paying for any girl's nails. I'm not paying for any girl's whatever. No. If you could pay for it before you met me, you can pay for it while I'm in your life. I'm not doing it. Now, if it's my girlfriend, time to time, maybe. But if it's a girl that I'm just taking out on dates, hell no.
Okay,
Now, with that,
person. Only if you're
I'm
like
saying,
girlfriend boyfriend. Only if you're girlfriend boyfriend. Yes.
I mean,
Not
girlfriend, boyfriend.
there.
I mean, girlfriend, boyfriend. I'm still probably like. I'm not saying that I wouldn't pay for
Mhm.
her nails or whatever. But on a regular basis, no, that is not happening. That is not happening. My mom and especially my dad and I mean, I lived with my mom the majority of my life. She raised me to stand on my own, like no matter what. And she's always taught me. She's always taught me that never to let a woman run over you, never like allow a woman to take advantage of you, so on and so forth. So while I am willing to say randomly, hey, let me get your nails done, or on a special occasion, let me whatever, 1,000%. I'm totally open to that. But on the
Mhm.
regular basis, paying rent, paying nails. Now, are you saying these are things that if we're just talking about someone that I'm dating and these are things that this person has to do to get ready? I mean, date one, 100% man pays. Date two, 100% the man should probably pay. Date three, even if she doesn't pay, I'm going to be looking for her to pay, to either offer or to kind of to tip or something. If there's no offer to grab me around or grab buy me a drink, even though I'm going to note to self that. Now, we still may have a great date, but I'm going to note to self that.
Mhm.
Then let's say we go out again on the fourth date and it's the same thing. Yeah, probably. It's probably gonna. We're probably gonna have to wrap that up. If the needle isn't moving in a physical way, we're probably gonna have to. And I'm not saying that there has to be sex. I'm not
Yeah.
saying that. But if the
Mhm.
needle isn't like if we're not even kissing and it's the fourth date,
Oh no, you should be kissing. I think
yeah.
I you should be kissing early on, and I'm gonna tell you why. Even on the first date, I know they're like, don't kiss on the first date. No, I think you should, because if you have zero chemistry with somebody, why are you gonna continue to see each other? Because the sex is going to be terrible.
No, I mean, so what's your opinion? So I mean, myself and Jordan, we talked.
Mhm.
Well, I don't think we talked about this, but so what's your opinion? And I think I know your opinion, but what's your opinion on, if you kiss, are you talking about an end of the night type of kiss? Is that what you're talking about?
I mean, it could be end of the night, or you could also make out maybe at dinner or whenever, like whenever the vibe is there. I think go for it, and why not? Like, if you guys don't have any chemistry, it's better to find out sooner rather than later. Because chemistry is so important. Like, I think it's so, so important. If someone is a bad kisser, like, there's literally nothing worse than
In the back, I
liking
agree.
vibe and then waiting to kiss them. And then when you kiss them, it is the worst fucking kiss you've ever had. That happened to me on my fucking birthday, Keenan. My birthday.
So
It
let me ask
was
you this then.
so
What's your definition of a bad kisser or not a good kiss? Like what is good kissing to you?
so bad kissing is pecking my face, which is what this guy did. Not even kidding. So fucked. But I think I don't know, it's like a way that your guys' lips fit together. I mean, some people like to use tongue. Like, I don't know. You just have to kind of figure it out. And it feels like if it's gonna be good, like you guys will just figure it out while you're making out.
Gotcha. So could that making out in your experience in your experience potentially lead to you know
Yeah, it does.
sex?
Yeah.
Okay. So you're not opposed to sleeping with someone on the first night if the vibes are good.
No, I'm not.
Okay. I respect that. I respect that because again, I think Jordan and I talked about this a couple like weeks ago because I think most men, they won't admit that while they want to have sex with the girl on the first night, they low key hope that it doesn't happen in case they like, in case, in well, they low key respect it if they don't.
Why is that?
I don't know. I mean, I personally, I love it when it happens, but if it doesn't, I'm like, okay,
More.
maybe, yeah. And it doesn't mean that I respect her more or less. I'm just
Hmm.
like, okay, well, okay, cool. That's cool. But then if she's going, I'm like, okay, now, okay, like that's cool because I've had it gone both ways where I've had sex with someone on the first night and we dated and everything was gravy and I've had sex with people on the first night and we just ended up being friends
Hmm.
and that's it. So I think it can happen both ways. I hate when females say, I'm waiting 90 days, I'm waiting 12 dates until I have sex with him. Man, okay. Yeah, you can wait all you want. Nine
Hmm.
times out of 10, that dude ain't waiting.
No. Like if
He
he
may
wants
be
it, he's gonna get it from you or someone else.
1,000%, 1,000%. And I've been in that case. I've been in that case where a girl's like, "Oh my God, I like you, and I just want to wait, a few dates." Okay, boo, we can wait as long as you'd like.
Yeah.
I'm here for you. Well, I respect that you want to wait. Meanwhile, I'm on the other side, just fucking smacking skins left and right
Hmm.
because it's just like, I mean, if I have an itch, I'm gonna scratch it. As simple as
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
And I don't know you that well to know if I know what's good over here. So like, I mean, so I hate when girls say, they're, but I think that's in like the women's handbook that they have to say that. I think. Is
Yeah,
that
it's like I think it I think it gives women a false hope though because if you tell a guy, "Hey, I'm going to wait this many days," he's going to do whatever it takes to get there, get it and then go. Like
100%?
he had to work so hard. But if you this is why. If you tell a man, "Oh, well, I'm waiting for this or this," he's going to wait to that thing, get what he wants and then bounce out of there.
Oh, facts,
Yeah.
facts, facts for sure, for sure. So I know you and I have had some conversations about, why, to some degree, you feel the
Mhm.
way you do feel about men. So talk to us. Tell us why you feel the way that you feel the way you do about men, and we'll kind of go on from there.
Um Okay, well, I grew up in a cult, so men, like where men really use religion, right, to control people, to control women. And I saw like so many miserable women growing up because they're overpowered by their partner. And so I feel like a lot of men that I saw growing up abused their power in the roles that they were put in and like leadership roles and stuff like that. And I feel like they abused their power with things that they've like done or said. And so it had a really bad distaste in my mouth growing up completely because I was definitely like, as a woman, you are not like your own person. They basically, like, I was raised to be like someone's wife, like a pastor's wife and mother. Like, I was literally taught like the only way to like go to heaven or whatever is to like get married, have a kid, and then like go and plan a church with your husband. And so that was like what my life was expected to be. And so there was just no way to be like an independent person. You had to have a man. And if that's making sense, I don't know. That's making
Oh yeah,
sense. But
yeah. It's making perfect sense.
okay. Yeah, just a lot of abuse of power though. And they don't let the wives have like any say really in anything.
So you said that you grew up in a cult.
Hmm.
How many people were in this cult, like ballpark?
Oh gosh, like hundreds of thousands because it's all around the world.
Well, like in your neighborhood or your whatever.
The church I went to, we
Yeah.
had a location, I would say between 50 to like 70 people.
Gotcha, gotcha. So was there in your particular church, was there someone who was like daddy? Like the Warren like the Warren Jeffers or whatever his name is of
Oh,
everyone?
yeah, from the FLDS. Yeah, we had a pastor
Okay.
um, who was incredibly abusive to the whole church over the pulpit too.
Interesting. Interesting.
Mhm.
So when did you quote unquote see the light? Wait. Before you answer that, prior to prior to you becoming I'm assuming like this was in your childhood, your teens.
Yeah, until I was
Or
8. I grew up in this church and I left
okay.
when I.
Okay, so until you were 18, were you sexually active before you were 18?
No, I was assaulted though when I was really young,
Okay.
but no. I actually
Okay.
did not have virginity until my early 20s.
Okay. So what made you quote unquote see the light in like this is not for me, this is not what I want to do the rest of my life. I want to think my own thoughts, so on and so forth.
I mean, I've always questioned everything. And so I would question the leadership and I would question what they're preaching over the pulpit because it was really geared towards the men to be these great men of God and like go out and stuff. And the women, you need to find a man, submit to him, have as many kids as he wants, plant a church, all this stuff, just serve. Um, oh, sorry, I just lost my train of thought. What was the question again? Sorry.
um when did you see the light?
Oh, okay. Yes. Thank you. Okay. When they started cherry picking like Bible verses, like there's certain things that is said in the Bible, and then there's other stuff that contradicts it. But they would only cherry pick the good stuff or what they wanted you to believe. And I would say, well, what about the next verse? They're nope, we're going to focus on this verse. So I felt like it was just not. I don't know, it just was very confusing. And I wasn't allowed to ask questions. I would ask questions and I would never get a clear answer on anything. Especially with like a lot of like the pastor we grew up under, he was really like racist and he he like said Obama was like the Antichrist or whatever. And
Hmm.
he yeah, he just was like the absolute worst. And he led so many people astray.
So when you got out of the church, did you just like go crazy? Like go crazy as in like wild, as in like you kicked it, party, so on and so forth?
Yeah, I had a pretty bad like drinking problem because I had so many questions, especially I think too because from the outside we were like this perfect family. Like we went to church, grew up in church. We were at church Sunday, Wednesday, and Saturday. And would always be super frustrated because I was like, if we grew up this like the right way, why did like I get assaulted at this age? Why was it dealt with this way? And all that kind of stuff. So it was like incredibly frustrating. And I was like, if there was a God, like why would this stuff have happened? You know?
Right. Okay. So when you got out of the church, um, and then you had some roadblocks. When did you start dating and started to be like maybe allowing your trust in men to become some a little bit?
Well, so I met this guy when I left the church at 18, and we didn't like start a relationship, but we definitely connected like really well emotionally. And I thought I was going to marry this person. I was like, oh my gosh, like this is the first man I meet right outside of the church. And because I was never allowed to date at all in the church. And so I meet him and like I like fell in love with this man, and I found out he was married and had a kid. So I knew he had a kid. I did not know he was married. That was
Wow.
fucking shit because I mean, I had this really bad view of men, and then that's the first man I meet right outside of leaving this Colts.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is crazy. That's crazy work.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy.
So then that added on to your mistrust in men
Yeah.
because you already didn't trust men with the church, and then in your first relationship outside of the church, you started seeing someone who's actually married who lied to you.
Yeah.
Damn it,
Yeah.
man.
Right at 18. All of that happened at 18.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Okay, so much to unpack here. Um, when you decided to leave that situation, you know, I'm assuming you found someone else. Um, but what has shaped your ideal? Has the church, or does the church still play a way, still play still play a way in the way you shape the men you date today?
I mean, it did for a while. I felt like I needed to have like a godly man still or whatever because it's like your man needs to love God first and then you. And if he doesn't, he's not going to be a good leader of your household. So for a long time, I did think, oh, I needed that. But then I don't know, because I feel like men and religion who take it really seriously, like have done something really bad in their past. And
Yeah.
so I'm very weary about that. If somebody is like very Bible thumping, crazy, like, then I'm staying away from that because that's weird.
Gotcha. Okay. We're gonna take a pause for a second. I just want to shout out to everyone that is in the chat. Sophia, I saw you in here. What up? What up? Hello. I also saw Monica. She was also in here. He just wants some dome. Monica, what's good? What's good? I also saw Dear Mama Tupac, Dear Mama Tupac 639. What up? Then we had Shad Tyler Wayne. Can barely afford my own mani petty. Okay, what up? Thank you for joining. Then again, Dear Mama. And then Sophia as well. Sophia, thank you again for joining us, dear mama. All of you that are joining us right now, again, I apologize for being late. That was my fault. Technical difficulties. For those of you that are watching now, appreciate you. So let's get back into it. Hopefully, feel free to ask questions in the chat. If you are watching currently, ask Santina any questions that you would like about the cult, about, she's single, but she's not dating right now, but we're going to unpack that some more. But feel free to ask any questions in the chat if you are currently watching. With that being said, okay, so cult dated a married man.
That sounds so bad.
Hey, I mean,
what it is.
I've banged a few married women in my lifetime, so
What's
all.
worse though? It's even worse, Keenan.
What's worse?
It is. Okay. So after that whole thing exploded, right? I used to have another Instagram that got hacked, but he messaged me probably like 3 years ago. This guy DM'd me, and I hadn't spoken to him in like 5-6 years, and he was like, "Hey, how you doing, longtime friend?" Like, what? Like, you were married? We were never friends. That's crazy to just be like a random DM.
No, that is crazy.
That's crazy.
So a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
So why aren't you currently dating right now?
That is such a good question. Because I feel like when I'm in a relationship, I get lazy and I get ugly. But also, I just got out of a very toxic relationship like
Okay.
last year. And so I feel like I have been just like trying to regulate my body from that. Again, dated a narcissist. So like that rewires your whole brain and everything. And so I don't know, and I'm on my own completely. I like live by myself and everything. And so I feel like I'm like so peaceful within my body and
Yeah.
within my
Yeah.
space. And I don't want anybody to mess with that. Like I am
That's
enjoying
nice.
my peace. It is so nice to not have your day ruined by 6 a.m. every day. So I am enjoying the silence and the peace.
So, what kind of men does Santina go for?
Like the worst kind, Keenan.
I
I
mean,
think
yeah, yeah. It sounds like you don't have a good track record with men.
no.
So, what do you if you could build a guy? What up, Sophia? What up? What up? What up? Thank you for joining.
Hey boo.
Um, if you could build a man, not like based off of a celebrity, blah blah, but if you could build a man, what would you want him to look like? It doesn't matter skin color, white, black, but like what would you want his physical attributes to be, and what would
Mm-hmm.
you want his intangibles to be if you could have it your way?
I don't know. I feel like I've never had like Bieber fever, but Justin Bieber lately has been looking very nice. I love the short hair, the tattoos.
Okay.
So I don't know, somebody like Justin Bieber.
Okay. So 5'6", 5'7".
Maybe hopefully a little bit taller. I
Okay.
need
A little.
a man to be taller than me in heels.
Okay. And how tall are you?
I'm 5'5", but with the
Okay.
heel, I'm like 5'8".
Gotcha. In case any men are watching, if they're like, "Damn, I kind of look like Justin Bieber," I might try
Yeah.
to holler. You might get somebody coming into your DM singing, "In the city, and I'm living dreaming you come. I'm living dreaming you come." You never know. You never know. So Um, okay, so Justin Bieberish.
Mm-hmm.
And how about intangibles? When I say intangibles, I mean I'll say like intangibles are understanding, works out, comes from a good family, so on and so forth. What are some intangibles that you look for?
Definitely somebody who like works out, someone who takes care of themselves. Because I think that's really important. Like our health is
Hmm.
super, super important, and I try to take really good care of my health as well. And so I feel like someone who eats the same way that I eat, this like exercises, all that kind of stuff. I feel like that's really, really important. But someone who has a very similar lifestyle, but also someone who is like just super funny and goofy, doesn't take life too seriously. Um, I don't know. I think it's important to laugh. So like that's really important to me. Having a partner that like is pretty easy going with the flow, but also can make you laugh.
Okay. Okay. I think those are all great attributes. And guys, if you're watching or if you will watch this, in the words of Hitch, the movie Hitch, any woman can be swept off their feet. You just need the right broom. So even though she says that she's not dating, fellas, if you guys are out there and if you somewhat resemble Bieber, you can probably bag her. You can probably bag her, but you got to pay for everything, every single date. Just know
Oh,
that. Oh man. No, that's great.
hey, I like to.
So
I like
you said
someone who
what?
I like to cook a lot.
Okay, okay. So you can save money that way.
Yeah, I love to cook like a cute little homemade meal, especially because I can cook better than the restaurant food sometimes. So I like a little home cooked, cook a little dinner together. That's like such a cute date night.
Okay. Little dinner, movie, smash, that's the kind of those the kind of date nights that I'm talking about,
Yeah,
Okay, now we're on the same page. Now we're on the same page. Um, so in your opinion, let me ask you this. In your opinion, um,
Hi, Pookie. Oh my God, yes.
well, I thought you were calling me Pookie for a second.
No,
No.
Keenan.
Let me ask you this. Do you think so? You are talking to some dude, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, you guys are just talking. You guys are seeing where things go. Um, you've met some of his friends. He's met, a few of yours. Do you think that it is a red flag if he has liked or is liking any of your friends' pictures on Instagram?
Um, I don't know. I've never been in that situation before. I
I
probably
mean,
wouldn't
how would
like
you?
it.
You said you wouldn't like it.
I probably wouldn't, honestly. If I think about it, like realistically, I probably wouldn't be okay with it.
Why is
Like
that?
regular pictures or like bikini pictures.
It could be pictures with you in it, and you're in a bikini, and they're in a bikini. It could be pictures of them just in a bikini. It could be pictures of them like dressed up, and either you're in the picture or you're not. But it's just random.
If I'm in it, then that's fine. If I'm not in it, that's not fine.
So you think that's a red flag?
I don't know if that's yeah, probably a red flag. Yeah.
Would you stop talking to said dude, or would you just bring it up and be like,
Sometimes
"So you said what?"
I would bring it up because I think it's
Oh,
important to establish your boundaries very early on in a relationship and see if someone's going to respect that boundary.
no, I
And
agree with that.
if they don't respect your boundary or they try and get you to push it, that's like such a red flag. I think that's when it's a red flag. When you do address a problem and if they try to like minimize how you feel about it or try and convince you it's not a big deal, like you should probably not continue to see that person, especially if they're already disrespecting your boundary.
Right, right. No, that makes perfect sense. Yeah, I don't think I've ever I think it's disrespectful to some degree. Now like what if you and the person stop talking, but you're still cool and he's liking your friend's pics? Are you okay with him trying to get at your friend?
I mean, yeah, I don't really care if he tries to get at them and they go with him, then they're not a real friend because girl code is
Uh,
you don't like no.
but
What if
but but you guys were only talking. You guys were not like seriously dating.
but
He
we
did
still
meet. Yeah, yeah. You guys. Well, yeah. You guys did. You got okay. So let's say you guys never had sex, but you guys did do other things with that. But like you guys just ended up being cool. Like it wasn't nothing bad. You guys didn't. It wasn't like you guys weren't together,
mm-hmm.
but you felt, or it just dried out, and you guys just ended up being cool. And then a few months later, one day he just tried to holler at your homegirl whom you introduced him to. You would be mad at the girl?
Oh no, I think it depends on how like if he was pretty respectful with how the situation like ends and you guys are really on a good page, then I think no, Sophia.
Oh,
Then
that's another conversation.
um I think it's fine. Like if I feel like if you didn't sleep with them, I feel like it's fine. But I don't know. I feel like it just depends on the whole situation. When it, I don't know. Sometimes though, people have a better connection with other people. So I don't know. I don't want to like hold somebody back, like if that is their future partner or whatever. But I feel like it would be a case by case situation. Like if it was somebody that I was like in love with and like had dated for a while, then we broke up, and then they start talking, like, no, that's disrespectful.
No, I definitely agree with that. I definitely agree with that. But I think, yeah, I mean, I don't know if I would necessarily like it, but I don't think that it's, if we never seriously dated, if we never had sex,
Then I think it's fine.
yeah, I think it's fine. But I don't think the girls would go. I think the girl, I think a girl would have an issue with that and be like, I don't think that's cool that you would do that with him, because maybe you liked him, but it just, you liked him at some point clearly.
Hmm.
So, but you just weren't interested in him like that. So, I
Yeah.
mean, I just think it really depends. But yeah, if on the flip side, I don't think that I would like a female that I was talking to like my homie's pictures, especially if it was like, especially if I wasn't in them. I'm like, what's going on? Are you trying to smash my homie or what?
No, literally. That's like kind of like, hey, I like you. If
Right.
you're not the pictures and it's your friend.
So you're a fan of gingers? Is that what the word around town is?
Oh, no, it's not.
No.
No, we have a guy in our building who's like the most ginger man I've ever seen in my life. And I was very shocked by that.
Gotcha. Okay. So
Came over-
Monica, okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
no, he came over and talked to us and he had nothing to say at all. It was the most awkward conversation.
He came over to talk to you, and he
Stood there. He was like, hey. Like,
was he
conversation.
attracted?
No, he was not cute, Keenan.
Oh, so maybe he was shy. You know, some guys don't have that swag when it comes to females. They just don't.
They should
They don't.
practice like a cheeky, cute little pickup line or something.
How does one practice? How does one? I mean, how would you give advice to a guy friend to practice hitting on females if they are scared at approaching females?
I don't know, because I don't give out advice like that. So I don't know. But you can come up with a funny joke, like a girl who likes a dad joke. That's gonna be a fun girl.
I guess a dad joke is always a good go to on the right situation, I guess. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Let's venture off into. So we talked about your cult. We talked about you're not dating right now. But you know me, I like to get down in the trenches.
No.
I like to,
No.
I like to get down in the trenches on unfiltered logic. So, in your opinion, every woman had. I saw this on Instagram.
Okay.
And there is a range of.
Hey, what can I get for $10? What's that, Jamie?
Mancia, ask her what we can get for $10.
Oh my god, I love you guys. That is so funny.
How long do you think? How long do you think sex should last?
Oh my god, like at least 30 minutes.
What?
Yeah.
Oh my god! What?
We're like
30?
times.
No. Okay, wait. No, I'm talking about one time.
Like 10 to 15 minutes.
Okay. I was about to say 30 minutes. The fuck you talking about? That is crazy.
At the best, but 15 minutes, that's great.
Okay. So I think on the question on Instagram, it was like I think it was like 3 minutes, an hour, I think 30 to 45 minutes, and then there was like a 7 minutes and maybe like a 10-minute range.
Mm-hmm.
So Mancia, she says, well, foreplay. So I'm not considering foreplay in that that 30 minutes or that 10 or 15 minutes. Um, I think 10 to 15 minutes is a good baseline. Now, do you now you know the saying, right?
Which
For
one?
for for most men that if I can go 30 minutes, then your coochie ain't very good. Have you ever heard that?
No.
You've never heard that?
No, who said that?
I mean, if you, I mean,
Crazy.
if, huh?
I said that's crazy. I've never heard that before.
Yeah, if you like a lot of like, and there's a thing on Instagram where it's like, if if I'm lasting 20, 30, 45 minutes, then your shit ain't very good. Because most men, I'm not gonna generalize, but the chatter in the manosphere is that like once it goes in, it should be like like you should be like see, even I just went crazy there. Um it should be it should be like a like one of those type of
Yeah,
feelings.
100%.
And so that's why when some men if you see on the internet, TikTok or whatever, and they're like, if I came quick, that means you got some good coochie. Because I mean, it just felt so good, or you just couldn't keep it all in. But if you're plugging away, like I mean, like it's just like, all right, that's cool. Okay, okay, what okay, let's So, I think 10 to 15 minutes is a decent time, but I'm gonna say I think on average 7 to 10 is probably the sweet spot.
Yeah. No, I agree. That's
And
realistic.
I'm now if you're going 15 or 20 minutes, cool. I mean, yeah, you can. I mean, don't get me wrong. There's times when like I've said in other podcasts that I've been on, where I popped one of those blue boys and I was just fucking drilling. I was like this, I was like this, just going crazy. You know what I mean? But that stuff. I mean, eventually the girl gets tired of it. She's like,
Mhm.
like when are you gonna go? And then eventually I'm just like, man, like what's going on here? I need to. I can't go. Like I can't. And
Wait, so
so
how much longer does it keep you harder for then?
I mean, it just kind of it really depends, I think, on the dude. Like there's been times when again, like I said, where I mean I've popped a blue boy and and I went for a while. Of course I ended up, going, but and then there's been other times when it was the right spot and I was like after like a couple minutes. I ain't gonna hold you after a couple minutes, but then that next round, it was
The recovery is just like fast, back to back to back.
oh yeah, it's yeah, that next round, like I mean, if that first round is quick, that next round I'm putting in work, like putting in
Mhm.
work for sure. So and there's been times when I've talked about this on other podcasts where I went out on a date and and based on the conversations that myself and the female had, I was for sure I thought I was smashing. I popped one of those guys, and I didn't end up smashing.
What happened? You didn't
My
complete?
dick was my dick was on hard for like 24 to 48 hours. It was crazy. It was crazy. It didn't happen. And so I was pissed internally. I was so mad at this girl. I was just like, this this like the emoji like with the cussy with
Hmm.
the with the expletives.
Yes.
I was so hot, so hot. But I mean, those are some L's that you have to take, in the dating landscape. I think me personally, um, I think dating right now I think it's fun, but it's also, you know, I'm very, I'm very aware of what it is.
Hmm.
I'm very aware. Like, so I'm gonna play the game as much as said female is gonna play the game, right? So, I think dating in today's world is very transactional. Um, it's very, and that sucks because I mean, contrary to popular belief of what people think about me or what comes out of my mouth or how I portray myself, I'm a lover boy to the core.
Hmm.
But single Keenan is a different dude. Like he's just a different dude. But when I do have that girl in my life, I'm a total lover boy. Like I love love. I love having a female around. But I think females nowadays, and a lot of females think that men are quote unquote zesty or they are sassy because they want to be treated as if I treat you. And I don't think there's anything wrong with expecting how I treat you to treat me that same way in return. Now, does that mean I pay for you, you pay for me? Sometimes. Does that mean I text you, you text me? Sometimes. That's called reciprocation,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And so like, I will that's one thing where I find in dating now that I'm not going to say men, I'm just going to say in my situations that I think a lot of women lack reciprocation in dating. They want, but then when we ask for something in return, it's like, what? And so, and I can't deal with that. So I'd rather just either A, be cool, B, smash and be cool, or C, you get the F out of my face. That's
I think it's
that. I
important
mean,
to take care of your partner too. Like
I'm
just
sorry.
I think it's important though. I agree with you. Like to take care of your partner as well. Like, I think it's important to learn each other's love languages and then show up for each other that way. I 100% agree with that.
Moncia says, "How do you feel? How do you both feel about exes for friends?" Um, me personally, I mean, I haven't had a lot of girlfriends in my life. I've maybe had maybe 5 to 7 girlfriends, like serious girlfriends in my life, and I'm still cool with all of them, like to this day. Like, could I call them right now and talk to them? I mean, probably not, but if I were to see them in public, I would give them a hug. It would be cordial, so on and so forth. So, I can honestly say I've never had a bad breakup to the point where I would say that I would hate said person or I don't ever want to see this person again or so on and so forth. I've never had a bad friends with benefits. Never, not once. Never any drama with friends with. Why? Because I set that expectation day one. It is what it is. Here's what I want. Here's what I don't want. Here's what I expect. Here's what I'm looking for. I just don't. I don't. I think communication is very, 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 very important. And me as a man, I leave it up to you on whether or not you want to move forward in whatever you ask me, like with what I'm looking for. So I've never had any bad breakup. So if my girlfriend was cool with one of her exes, I think I may have a problem with it. What's your thoughts?
I do not friends with any of my exes. They all ended very badly. So I'm not friends with any of my exes. I don't feel the need to stay friends after we break up because we're breaking up for a reason. And I don't know, just for my situations, like I'm really happy for you that you have never had like any like bad breakups because they're not fun. And yeah, I have zero contact with all of them.
Now, am I going to say I've had my heart broken, but that
Yeah.
doesn't mean it's a bad, like, when I hear bad breakup, I mean, I hear like F this person, having bad things to say about said person. I never want to see said person. No,
Mhm.
I've never had that. I've never had that.
Yeah, I've had situations where a lot of stuff was broken
Wow.
and lots of like screaming. So that's why we're no contact.
Yeah, I mean, I've had my clothes thrown over the balcony, telling me to get out.
Yeah.
But if I were to see that same girl to this day, like we would be able to say hi and so on and so forth and keep it moving. Like it wouldn't be like a,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Sophia says there should always be reciprocity, though. That's the gap. I I truly believe that. I think that is where the gap is in dating. I truly, truly believe that. And I think that most women, I won't say all because I don't want to generalize, but most women feel as though the nowadays man, they want to be quote unquote treated like a female, and that's not necessarily true. I think I think the nowadays man, they just want to be shown appreciation and they want whatever they do to be reciprocated. And when that is not, that is when they feel some type of way.
So I have a question for you.
Yes.
What's something that you're saying a woman expects you to do, and what would you feel is like similar exchange on from your end?
What is something that a woman expects me to do?
So like if she wants you to get her flowers, right? So you get her flowers. What are you expecting in return?
Okay, perfect. If she wants me to get her flowers, I want her to, doesn't have to be every morning. I want some mornings maybe her to text me good morning first. Let me know that you're thinking about me first thing,
Okay.
you know? Something like
Mhm.
that. Something like
Okay.
that. Um I like I said, in a relationship, if I'm in a relationship, like I said, Santina, I'm a lover boy. Like I've bought, well, a girl a pair of lubes. I've
Oh,
bought a like I've done, like I'm a gifter. Like I love showing my female how much I appreciate them when I'm all in. Now when
yeah.
I'm dating, I am not that way because I know the game. I know that if we're dating, you're probably entertaining someone else more than likely, or someone is trying to holler at you to some degree. Um, and maybe there's maybe like this is my like warped way of thinking. Um, when it comes to dating and spending money on a female, I feel like that is a waste of money. Not on the female,
Hmm.
I feel like it's a waste of money because let's say hypothetically we do this, we do that, and then you stop talking to me that next day. So many in this day and age, in my opinion, people are so fickle,
Hmm.
men and women, that you could stop. People could stop talking to you tomorrow because you didn't text them back in 10 minutes. I've had that happen.
Oh yeah.
So like that's why I'm like I just did this, I just did that, and then she just ghosted me.
Yeah.
So
Wait,
that's
so
why I think. Go
oh no,
ahead.
go ahead.
I said so. That's why I think men are the way that the nowadays man. Um, and of course, a lot of things add to that thought, which is the manosphere and
Hmm.
all the red pill, blue pill type shit, blah blah blah. a lot of that lead to that way of thinking. But I just think a lot of men nowadays are just fed up with the old way of thinking and the old way of dating, where you would court, you would do this, you would do that, and then you would just wait around for the girl. Now we're just like, we're tired of doing all that. Where's the reciprocation in some way, shape, or form?
So I have a question for you. So what's the difference to you between dating somebody and then in a relationship with somebody?
Oh, that's a great question. I think there are many different stages in dating. I think talking is the first stage.
Mm-hmm.
Then I think there's dating. And dating, I think, is you are doing just that. You are dating, you're going out on dates. You are also, you're not exclusive, but you may make it known to this person that, you are feeling them a lot. And then I think when you are together, boyfriend and girlfriend, I think that is exclusive. You and that person are together. No outside influences.
So how long for like each stage? You wait like a month? Like how long are you in? Like how quickly are we moving?
Man, you don't want to ask me that question because I have different views. I personally don't think that anyone should call someone their girlfriend or boyfriend minimum 6 months.
6 months? You're
Six
talking to
months.
6 months?
You could be
Okay.
dating someone for 6 months.
But you're talking to other people at the same time?
Well, I think within that 6 months, I think that at some point it's going to, I would hope, if we're hanging out on a regular basis, I would feel like, I'm only going to speak for me. I'm not going to talk for most men. I would feel as if I would start to alienate other females slowly but surely.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you truly, and well, you probably still don't know a person, but I don't think you can really truly start to get to know a person until you're at least 6 months into knowing that person, into whatever with that person.
Yeah, no, I agree because I know everybody always puts their best foot forward, and then if you
Yeah,
get to it too quickly, then as soon as the veil is up, then you're screwed.
yeah, for sure. What's your thought process?
With
Because on the stages, because you said you thought you made it look like 6 months was too high.
I feel like it's a long time to just be like talking to somebody. I don't know because when I start talking to somebody, I feel like I'm very like a loyal person, which I've never talked to multiple people like at the same time necessarily, and so I can barely
Okay.
juggle talking to one person. So like when I'm talking to you, I'm only talking to you. Like I'm not texting anyone.
Gotcha. So I feel like again, that's where I feel like the communication piece comes into play. Because let's say if I meet you and you're like, we have this conversation like first or second or third date, like, what do you think dating is, or what do you think talking is, whatever, and you're like, well, if I'm talking to someone, or if you make the comment, if I'm talking to someone, I'm only talking to them and them only. Me as a
Mm-hmm.
man, I'm gonna think, okay, I'm gonna be unfiltered here. Me as a man, I'm gonna think like one of two things.
Mm-hmm.
One, I'm gonna think, okay, now I know where I know how to navigate this. She's only gonna talk to me. She's only putting her eggs in this basket. Okay. That's one thought. The other thought process is yes. Cause I can mess with these other girls and I know that I got this one over here on the side. Again, I'm not saying that all dudes think like that. Have I thought like that before in my lifetime? Absolutely. Now, again, if you tell me that and we start to hang out more and more, I'm only speaking for me. Eventually, if I start to like you, like I said, I will start to alienate those other females and
Mm-hmm.
not and just be all in, and it'll happen organically. It won't be like I just don't think you can truly, like, I was on another podcast and this one girl was like, I think you can fall in love with someone in a month or love someone within a month. And I was just like,
Mm.
I don't know how that's possible, but I know it's possible, but I don't know how it's, I can't, me
Well,
personally.
if you're being love bombed, yeah, you're gonna probably fall in love with that person.
Yeah. I mean, nah, I think that's a month. Nah, that's crazy. That's
I don't
crazy.
know. Have you ever seen How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days? They fall in love in 10 days.
Yeah. I think I need time to, I don't know. Just like you, like in this day and age, and of course, I'm single and you know, I'm definitely open to dating. I'm open to having a girlfriend, but I will not, as you just said so eloquently, since I've been single for a few years, my peace is so valuable.
Hmm.
Like, I think the thought of having to routinely text someone every single day, it low key makes my skin crawl.
Same.
But again, that is where, you know, on the other flip side, you think about just having someone and being around someone and, wanting someone's touch and things of that nature. That's when you gotta open up the Rolodex and then hello? Hey, what's up, girl? Hey, hey, what's up, big head? You trying to go to dinner? Yeah, it's been a while since we've talked. I've been super busy lately. I am so sorry. I was just thinking about you, and man, I would love to take you out to dinner. Yeah, let's do dinner. Okay. Dinner, get that itch scratched, and then I'm a new man again. I'm back to my back to my piece. So
Yeah.
like, I mean, that's great. Yeah, I don't know. So let's see. Let's read the chat here. So Sophia Lene, there should always be reciprocity. Oh, I already read that one. My bad. Sophia Dominguez, do you believe in love in first sight? No,
No. There's like
no.
definitely mutual attraction, but
I, I, Sophia, I truly, truly believe in lust at first sight. I truly do believe in that. Yes, I believe in that. Now, I don't want you guys out there to think that I'm some horn dog because I'm not. I'm a realist. And a lot of people don't want to hear the realist, the real. It's this day and age in dating, it is so crazy out here that it's just wild. It's just wild. It is so wild. But no, I do not believe in love at first sight. Um, I have met someone before, and I did tell them that first night that that person was going to be my girlfriend or that person was going to be my girl. I did tell them that, and that person did end up being my girl, but for a couple years. Um, but love at first sight. Now, I don't believe in that at all. We're gonna wrap this up here in a couple minutes, but let me ask you this because I want you to be honest. As a woman,
mhm.
do you know when you are being annoying?
Oh, when you're being annoying.
Yeah, like
Uh,
in a relationship. Like so, for example, you've seen the forever a woman doesn't know like where they want to eat. You've heard that stigma.
yeah.
And that could be annoying for most men. So, as a woman, do you know in a relationship when you are being annoying?
No, not unless, I mean, I guess when you start acting weird, maybe then you're like not as responsive, not as wanting to spend time together. I feel like you kind of pull away,
Okay.
but I feel like it should be communicated, obviously, because communication's important.
Yeah, communication is super, super important. Do you think that's the number one attribute in any form of a relationship?
Like to the downfall of a relationship.
In any relationship, whether it's boyfriend, girlfriend, best friend, mom, daughter, dad, son, do you think communication is the number one attribute that you should have in any form of any kind of relationship?
Yes, it's so important because
I,
especially
I
'cause we all perceive everything differently. Like you might perceive something one way, I'm going to perceive it another way. And same thing there.
gotcha. Okay. Okay. Sophia say I say maybe if they want that, but can't give it in return, nor be consistent in giving it. Sophia says green flag. I think that was from earlier. Monica says, are you transparent with individuals you date about also speaking with others? Of course. Of course. You have to communicate that. You have to communicate that. I'm not in the business of breaking hearts. I'm not that's not what I'm in the business of. I'm in the business of being very transparent, being honest, and like I said on other podcasts, and I don't know if you've heard me say this before, Santina, I go into every date or I go into every date potentially thinking that I maybe could date said person,
Mm-hmm.
right? Every
Yeah.
single time. Now, after the first date and the conversations after that, I always say it could go one of three ways. It could go left to where we start dating. Cool. I'm cool with that. It could go straight where we could just be friends. I'm cool with that as well. Or it could go right where we're just smashing and that's it. We're just smashing and being friends, and it's just a friends with benefits type of situation.
Mm-hmm.
After every single date, it could go one of those three directions for me. Now, what causes it to go in one way or the other? It could be a multitude of things. It could be the reciprocation piece. They are not reciprocating my energy. So I'm just like, I'm not going left. It's either straight or right.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know my worth and I know what I deserve. I know what I expect. And if I'm texting you and there's 6 texts to your 1, all right, okay, cool. You might not like me like that, but you probably want to fuck. So cool. Cool. So it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter to me. Like I've said this, my mantra in dating is, and females will tell you this, I tell this to everyone. I I am always in a whatever happens happens mindset. Whatever happens. I do not want to set expectations because that is where I feel like people get hurt.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever happens happens. If we go out, we have a great time, we end up hooking up, having sex, I'd never talk to you again. Whatever happens happens. We could go out, go on a great date, go on another great date, go on another great date, go on another great date, end up dating, being serious. Cool. Whatever happens, happens. We could go out on a couple dates and it just falls off a cliff. We just decide it's not going anywhere. Like we're just cool. Cool. Whatever happens, happens.
I
Now,
agree.
again, as I said on the last pod with Jordan, most women don't think that is dating like with intention, but I tend to disagree. It is highly intentional. Whether or not you choose to want to be a part of that, that is what I leave up to the female. But I always say I am in a whatever happens, happens mindset because you may not want to talk to me after the first date. And then am I supposed to be sad? Are you there? Like, what if I don't want to talk to you after the first date? Like, there shouldn't be any expectations.
Hmm.
Monica says, "Are you aware of any red flags you have in relationships that could be a turnoff for others?" Keenan, I think that's a great question, Monica. Um, I'm all green flags.
That's a red flag, buddy. No.
No, to answer your question honestly and unfiltered, I would say that most women would think what I just said is a red flag about the whatever happens happens is a red flag. If I could be honest with you on that, and I don't necessarily care because I don't. So I think that could be a red flag for most women. Um, I think that me smoking marijuana to some women may be a red flag, which again, I don't care. I'm a grown ass man. I could do whatever I want.
Hmm.
Studies are showing that more people are smoking marijuana now than drinking alcohol.
Yeah.
So, I don't care. And I've had women in my life who did not like that I smoked. But at the beginning, I don't care that you smoke. I don't care. But then when they see that I smoke every day, they're like, that's one thing that I don't really like that you smoke every day. Does it put a hindrance on anything does it put a hindrance on anything that I do in my daily life? No. I'm up at 3:45 every morning at the gym every day. Nothing. It has nothing to do with it doesn't put a hamper on my life. So I hate when females say, "Oh, he smokes." Now if I smoke cigarettes, definitely a red flag. Um what else? What else? Other than that, Monica, I personally don't think that there's any other red flags. Maybe the fact that I like to smash a lot, which I don't think there's nothing wrong with that.
That's a green
I don't think,
flag.
yeah, I don't think there's anything wrong with being very sexual. But,
Mm.
um, I mean, or you can say that, like I said, it's not the fact that I won't pay for a female because the females that I've dealt with will never tell you that's ever been an issue. That's never been an issue. But I do communicate to them from the get go what I what I expect. And I am not saying that I expect for them to pay for me for anything, but I expect for them to at least at when it gets to a point in our whatever we're doing, I expect for there to be some reciprocation in that point. If we're going to a movie, I pay for the tickets, you buy the popcorn. If something like that, for example, you
Yeah.
know. So that could be a red flag. Let's see. Sophia said I shook my head. At what? Like, what'd you shake your head at? She's probably been shaking her head this entire time. Monica says you call BS on what? On what? I if you I wish I should get a female on here that I've dated or talked to and asked, and they will tell you I do say whatever happens happens because they either stop talking to me or they're like, I think some women think that they can change my mind. Some women probably think that,
I think
and
that's
it's
crazy. You cannot change a man's mind ever.
no,
No.
no, no. So it's not going to happen. I mean, like I said, I don't want to set those expectations, or I don't want to get hurt. I don't want them to get hurt. So therefore, if she wants to like walk away first date, second date, cool. whatever happens, happens. You know.
Mhm.
With that being said, we still have people in here. It's crazy. I'm so appreciative of all of you that have hopped on tonight, that all of you that have waited the 35 minutes because of my technical difficulties to hop on. I sincerely apologize. Hopefully that does not happen again. This has been such a great conversation. Before I let us go, I do want to say that, Santina, along with probably Jordan, will probably be on from time to time so we can, hear a woman's POV. I know Santina is going to be starting her own podcast here pretty soon. So, the more reps that she could get, even if it's on mine, the even better hers and her co-hosts or hers and her friends will be. So, you guys will be seeing Santina fairly often or whenever, she can hop on. That would be awesome. Would love to have you and Jordan on at one moment. I think
Gosh, I
you
would love.
two, yeah, you two versus me. I think that would be some definitely interesting conversation. But with that being said, Santina, oh, that was a red flag. Santina, do you have anything you want to say to the audience for those that have been watching, and those that are watching?
Yeah, well, follow this show. This show's gonna blow up. Like, I really like what you're doing, Keenan, what you're talking about. So I'm really excited to see your channel grow. I know it's going to, and thank you so much. I feel so honored that you wanted me to come on here, and I've enjoyed our conversation.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. And you're going to be on history. Second episode. Again, thank you so much for coming on, and I hope to blow this thing up. I hope that each and every one of you, even Santina's friends, I hope that you like and subscribe, and I hope that you watch if she's not on, if she's on. I hope that you follow. Hope that you follow me on Instagram. My Instagram page is Unfiltered Logic KP or Unfiltered Logic 57. Unfiltered Logic 57. So if you could follow that, that would be great. Like and subscribe to the YouTube page. Appreciate you. Next Wednesday, we have a friend of mine. It's going to be a guy chat. So it should be very, very interesting. We are going to have a guy chat with one of my closest guy friends from back home. And I hope that you guys tune in next Wednesday, every Wednesday at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much, Santina. I can't wait to have you on again. I fell asleep. What a day. I don't know who that is, but thank you for joining. I appreciate you. Win a circle. Sorry you fell asleep. Please watch. Please go back and watch. I'd appreciate the view. Please subscribe too as well. But thank you, Santina, so much. Hope to have you on in a few more weeks.
Definitely.
And guys, have a good evening. Thank you. Appreciate you. Bye bye.